Welcome to episode 11 of Briggins TV. Hope everyone had a great Easter and a good Anzac Day yesterday. I want to welcome our 11th guest to Briggins TV, Gagan Sethi.
That's
Welcome.
Right.
Mickey, also known as Mickey from the gym at Good Life.
Yep, thanks matey. Thanks for having me on the show.
Absolute pleasure, mate. Do you want to just let the guys know about your business, what you do, mate?
Yeah, I've got a home loan finance business, so it's more about like we specialize in first home buyers, and also like for anyone who wants to get into real estate or wants to buy property. So we help them with their loan and do a bit of loan structuring and everything.
Yes.
Just to make sure if it's a first home buyer, we got to make sure like that's not his first property. So we prepare his structure in such a way he can obviously have a room for to buy another property, use the equity from the first property. Yeah.
Now, mate, when we went for that hike,
Yeah.
put you through your paces, which was great.
Yeah.
And probably on the way down, an hour into it, there was a light bulb moment for us, wasn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Mate, I asked you an interesting question. I said, where did you meet your wife? And your answer was?
In computer.
On the computer. You met her on the computer. Okay. So people over here would say, oh, he's just swiped on Tinder, or he's been on Bumble, or he's on eHarmony. But no, this was a pre-arranged meeting.
Yeah, it was more because I come from a culture where arranged marriages are very common, right? And my parents actually met my wife at that point. Like, they liked her and she ticked all boxes. Like, she can
She
be
ticked all their boxes, so they met her first.
Yeah, exactly. And my parents, my mom, she knew like what sort of partner I want in my life. And so they met her for the first time and had a chat, and they were like, okay. And she called me one day, okay, Mickey, we have seen this girl. Would you want us to take this to the next level? I was like, hang on, let me have a chat with her.
Yeah.
And because she was in India at that time and I was in Australia, so the only way we could talk to each other was through Skype.
Wow.
And then this is back in 2009. That's when I spoke to her. We had a chat for 15-20 minutes, and very decent, very nice. So it's like 15-20 minutes is not enough for someone to commit, but in those 15-20 minutes I was like, okay, she's the one.
Wow, that's amazing.
She's the one, and I'm like, okay, let's do it.
What sort of questions did you ask her?
See, obviously I talked about, the first question was like, okay, can you drive? Because at that time I was into this drinking more, and obviously you can't drink and drive in Australia. So that was the first thing. And the second, like, okay, still English, if she's okay with that. And she started through in an English medium school. And the third was if she's okay to do a job in Australia.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay.
Yeah.
And she had a bit of an idea, like what sort of life she will be expecting in Australia. So that was the only three questions I asked her, and then we just talk about here and there, and that's it.
Unbelievable.
And in 20-25 minutes,
It's all on. It was arranged.
It was all arranged. And then after the meeting, after a chat, I spoke to my parents, and I was like, all good from my end.
It was done. So then you flew back to India and married her in India?
Correct.
Yep.
So we had all the proper ceremony and everything. So I had to file a visa, and it took 6 to 8 months. When I got a visa, then I flew back again to do the proper ceremony, which went for like 6 to 7 days.
Wow. I think too, mate, what I took out of that hike as well, mate, I love culture, love learning, right?
Yeah.
Been through divorce myself, and a lot of my clients go through it. 50% now. Some guys are Briggins suits we see for the second or for the third time. And I was so intrigued to say to you, mate, like, you've met your wife through a computer, right? The Aussie guys need to have an attraction. They need to have that chemistry, right? But your mind thinks totally opposite to that, and your mindset on relationships is intriguing. So tell me a bit about that.
Okay, like these days everyone wants to have things according to their way, right? Marriage is like a roller coaster ride. There's always ups and downs, and people need to learn from their mistakes. it's not going to be 100% okay, happy days.
Yeah.
There will be days when you are a bit low, when your opinions doesn't match with your partner, but that doesn't mean, okay, you made a wrong decision. Marriage is all about sacrifice and compromise,
Yep.
learning from each other's mistakes.
Mm.
You can't give up if your opinion doesn't match with your partner.
Yeah.
It's a we call life partner. It's not like that in 6 months time you realize, okay, hang on, I made a wrong decision, and you move on. No. You need to understand that what she expects from you.
Mm.
Maybe there are certain things she doesn't like about you. You need to work on it.
Mm. So it's more like communication, isn't
Exactly. It's not one way, it's two-way road.
it? Yeah.
And it's like, even when you start a new business, right? You have a vision.
Mm.
And sometimes those things don't work. Then you change your approach
Yeah,
towards
of course.
that business.
Yeah.
Relationship is also like that. But it's actually more than that. Because with business, you always have an option. But I don't see changing partners or divorcing, finding another partner who will work according to you. It doesn't work that way.
Mm.
In every relation, you have to sacrifice and compromise and work as a team.
We became connected at the gym. It's an amazing thing. I say to people, if you want to get cracking and get networked and meet interesting people, get to the gym at 6 a.m.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because anyone who's going to gym early in the morning, obviously they've gone through they have some story in their life, and to get away from all the manic world, I would say that's why they go to gym early in the morning, because those people can spend time on themselves rather than worrying about what's going to happen after 7 or 8. Yeah.
And mate, I've seen your smiling face down there. You're very nice. You always talk to people, but mate, take us back. 7, 8 months prior to that, you weren't in a good way.
Yeah. See, like if I talk about my fitness journey, if we're talking about that, if I go back 2 years, obviously I used to weigh like 115 kilos.
Wow, 115 kilos.
115 kilos, and I used to eat anything and everything.
Yeah.
And my food habits and my lifestyle, it was not in a good way.
Mm.
But then obviously certain things happen in your life which makes you think, okay, what actually I'm doing in my life.
Mm.
So I took a breath, sat down. The way things were going around, it was not working for me.
Mm.
I was like, okay, I need to focus on myself.
Yeah.
Okay, stop worrying about what someone else is thinking about me. They're being judgmental, that's fine. So I started focusing on myself, got into gym, changed my food habits, didn't eat curry for like almost 6 or 8 months. And
I love that. That's good. Do you think it was the cricket culture, the club culture, the drinking culture?
Well,
Like, what's that like in Australia compared to India?
it's different. Like, obviously in Australia, what I've seen, cricket culture, like after the game, boys get together, like team get together, you have a beer, you enjoy, you go home.
Yeah.
But with us, with Indians, it's different. Like after the game, you sit down, you talk about cricket, you analyze the game.
Yeah.
Because for us, cricket is everything.
Yeah.
And we go in so much detail.
Yeah.
Like drinking is not something we prefer to promote, but obviously coming in Australia, adapting Australian culture, so that also got in place. Yeah. So we started having drinks after the game and barbecue, sausage and bread. All
And
of
it went
stuff.
from there.
Yeah.
Look, mate, no doubt, like, getting involved in community and cricket clubs and football clubs is great.
Yeah.
And I think there is a bit of a shift happening with the culture.
Yeah.
I know back when, mate, I was playing football, the drinking culture was huge.
Yeah.
Do you think that's something that made you slip a little bit when you first integrated into Melbourne?
Yes, it did, because when I got into proper Aussie culture and I got into drinking more, and I used to drink like almost 3 or 4 times a week.
Wow.
Being involved in cricket club, my drinking session used to start Thursdays.
Wow.
Thursday afternoon or Thursday evening and I used to party till Sunday.
Yeah.
Like constantly 3 days drinking every Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and till Sunday. Yeah, but that was one of the reason my food habits got worse.
Yeah.
And I put on 20 kilos.
Wow.
In a time of 3 or 4 years. And then I was like, no, it's not working for me. Obviously, certain things happen in my personal life.
Yeah.
Setting too much of expectations, that's where the problem occurs. And I decided, okay, I need to change my lifestyle. Because no one's going to help me. It's only me who can help myself.
That is a big thing that you said to me. Is like, you know, Matty, when you're struggling, you are the only person that can help yourself.
Yeah.
And I strongly believe in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because someone suggested me, a very good close friend of mine said, like, okay, you go and speak to, take a counseling sessions. And I was like, okay, I did had a couple.
Yeah.
But then I realized I'm having a counseling session. I'm meeting someone who I don't know. I'm telling my story.
Yeah.
And then I'm telling him what I need to do to get out of that. And then I'm paying him a few dollars.
Money.
Yeah. I'm like, I know what the issue is, what the root cause of that situation. I'm the only one who can get out of that.
Yeah.
Because I was the one who put myself into that situation.
Yeah.
And no one can help me out. Because no one knows like what sort of personality I am. So, yeah.
Mate, 100%. And look, like the Aussie guys, I don't like talking about it and stuff. And, I've had mates that have tried the counselling sessions, but it hasn't worked for them too. So that's good that you dug yourself out of it.